Welcome everybody to the Sunset Flip Wrestling Podcast, and home for all wrestling, everything wrestling. What's up, Soto? What's going on,
How's
big
it
guy?
going? How's it going?
Happy June 1st of the month. You paid your rent, you paid your mortgage, you paid your bills, nothing.
Everything paid for. Everything paid for. It's
I
just
do not.
crazy how it's already June, man. Years flying
Listen,
by.
May flew really fast.
This whole year, bro.
You think so?
Yeah, this entire year.
I don't know. Maybe May was just like here and there. First, it felt like Cinco de Mayo was Memorial Day, and now, right? Yeah, Cinco de Mayo, Memorial Day, and now we are now.
Right?
So,
But
you know,
it's just, it's crazy.
so
It's shocking, right?
I think that's probably the best word, shocking.
It's shocking, right? But
So
speaking of shocking,
let's get right into it, shall we?
let's get right into it, right?
What you got for me?
Yeah, Monday Night Raw, man. What more shocking can you get than Liv Morgan kissing dirty Dominic Mysterio?
That's probably the only thing I cared about on Raw, because that was that literally was, and I guess the term for this episode is shocking. The theme of this episode, because what the fuck? So
Yeah.
Becky's gone, right, for the immediate future. She's gonna go take some
Well,
time off. I guarantee you she's signed. But not gonna say nothing. Have her just enjoy your time off and go be home with Seth while he's rehabbing. Go be with the baby and go enjoy yourself. So you plugged one great rivalry, one great feud with Rhea and Becky, to now you go Liv and everything was going on. Now Liv is going to be the face of the women's division for the immediate future. And this is, I don't know if she's a face or a heel, but Dom is about
Oh
to.
no, she's clearly a heel, but it's just crazy how after she picks up the victory, in the steel cage match against Becky Lynch, right? As she's going to the back,
It was a great match, by the way.
right? She kind of like she gets near Dominic Mysterio, and then it just cuts off, right?
Dom's like this, like
right on the sling, and then the camera's cut off, and I'm like, I don't know. Something told me like check Twitter or check whatever just to see if like there's a Raw after like another footage, right? And surely enough, it's Liv Morgan forcibly kissing Dominic Mysterio, and I think it's shocking in a way because I didn't think it would happen so soon. I think eventually it would have happened, right? But the fact that it happened so soon
now on the Dom changeover.
Yeah. And with this kiss, I think there's a lot of questions that comes to light. It's like, is Liv Morgan going to join the Judgment Day? And I say that because it's like, all right, we've seen now this interaction between Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio. We also saw backstage Liv Morgan talking to JD McDonough, right? Then we also seen Liv Morgan, we're all assuming here, get out of the same vehicle that Finn Balor was getting out of, right?
Right.
The only person that she hasn't had an interaction with is Damian Priest.
Right. And Priest about to deal with his nonsense with Drew. So it's like,
I think this whole little situation will help also feel, the upcoming. Well, a lot of us are, thinking it's going to happen, but yeah, Priest versus Balor. I think that this situation with Liv Morgan, because you already know that Damian Priest has always had Rhea Ripley's back, right?
Yeah.
Now everybody's cool with, or assuming cool with Liv Morgan. I think that's gonna raise a lot of tension, and I don't know.
My question to you is, is Rhea on her way out? Because now Dom might be aligned with somebody else, and she's away.
That's a very good question. I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know, because I can see a part where Balor, JD McDonough, and Dominic Mysterio kick out Rhea because they prefer Liv Morgan. Now, the only one who will stick up for Rhea is going to be Damian Priest, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Damian Priest has tried, ever since becoming champion, has kind of like been more of an authority role in the Judgment Day, especially now that he's champ, and especially that Ripley has been gone, right? And I think that's gonna rub Finn Balor, especially him, the wrong way. So I can see a scenario where both Priest and Rhea Ripley are kicked from the Judgment Day.
Cause that's a very and who would just it'd be living who Drew?
No, that's a good question. I think that's a question for further down the line, where you just take some time and think, all right, what possible members can you add
Mhm.
to the Judgment Day? But I think that might be the plan going forward. I feel like the tension between Priest and Balor is brewing, and then Balor eventually wants that gold, right? And then in terms of Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio, well, Dominic Mysterio is going to show the one person, right, who has recently shown him affection, which is Liv Morgan, right? Which is going to set up the return of Rhea Ripley, right? Maybe around SummerSlam. Who knows?
Which makes the most sense because it's the show of the summer.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think
Yeah,
it's
interesting.
because it's like, one, it happened right after Raw, and then two, so soon that happened. But let me tell you, Liv Morgan went all in on that kiss.
Dom was like, "What the fuck?" And then, not to mention, if you saw what happened yesterday, Rey Mysterio did an interview and said that Dom reminds him so much of Eddie based on how like his character development in WWE since he first got there. Like it's almost exactly like Eddie. It's an almost copycat throughout the years and ECW and WCW and now in WF and WWE. So it's like and if you want to go by being a copycat character, China and Eddie.
Yeah, I think this
Rhea and Eddie, and then now you got the whole what you doing with so and so. Eddie was running around doing different things. Now Liv enters the situation. It's like, well, yeah, this is what Eddie was doing back in the day too.
Yeah,
So
no, that's why like you kind of like the storyline, because it is a throwback. It is very similar to Eddie Guerrero in China, right?
yeah,
China was madly in love with Eddie, but then Eddie was doing his own thing on the side, right?
yeah.
But he was hiding it. This
But,
time, Dominic Mysterio,
he
this is all out in the public.
yeah.
Like Dominic, well, I mean, listen, Liv Morgan was the one who forced the kiss. However, Dominic Mysterio has been
Never backed
liking
away.
all
He was like, oh, okay, cool.
that, and Dominic Mysterio has been liking every single one of Liv Morgan's posts. So it is out there, bro.
Eat it up, my boy.
Yeah. But she did defeat Becky Lynch to retain the women's in the steel cage match. And speaking of Becky Lynch, numerous reports have stated that she is now an official free agent. But it's not. Yeah, I think so. But it's not the way that one would assume. Just because she's a free agent, a lot of people, are automatically, assuming that, all right, yeah, she might be AEW bound. I don't think so. I think AEW is what it is. It is an option, but I just think Becky Lynch wants time to herself, like you mentioned before, time to herself, time with family. And this is going to be an extended time. It's not going to be like, all right, she's going to return in a month or two. I think this is one that it's going to probably extend to maybe next year. I think if it's an extended hiatus from Becky Lynch, I would see her probably returning maybe Rumble season to set up for WrestleMania season. So yeah,
I'm with that. It feels like she signed when she extended when Seth got the new contract.
right.
And I doubt that, especially with things going now where Becky stands in WWE, that she's not going anywhere. There's no need for her. There's no bad blood. There's no poor matches. No poor booking. She's got everything she wanted. And when they asked her, "Hey, we need you to work," she did it. Like she worked the mid card, she worked the tag team, she worked the main event. She was supposed to be the one that pushed everybody over, and she's done that, right?
Yeah, no,
And the
she's
reward
done
is
that.
for everything she's
She's
done.
she's done everything, right? So there's no. I'm not saying there's no need for Becky Lynch right now because Becky Lynch is a star, right? She, whether you like her or not, she draws ratings, right? Um, but she wants to take time to focus on her and her family, and you know what? It's respected because right now, like I mentioned, she's done everything. Now, like I'm surprised, didn't work on re-signing her, and then she takes her hiatus. So this is kind of like new, and I can understand like a couple of fans being worried that she might leave. I don't think she's leaving. There's no way. That's one free agent that that I don't think is leaving. I think it's just taking the time again to focus on herself, and but also taking the time to strategize what kind of contract, right? I think the next contract she signs, right, in WWE will probably be the biggest or one of the biggest.
If the day WWE loses her for AEW or to AEW is the day that WWE's in trouble.
I wouldn't say all that.
You don't
I
think
wouldn't say
so?
no. I wouldn't say all that just for the simple reason that look at what AEW is doing with Mercedes Moné. Like
Mm-hmm.
Mercedes Moné was, I guess at that time, the biggest free agent.
She was
But I
number
don't.
3 at the time.
Right. But that hasn't moved the needle.
No.
I don't think that has done anything. So, I mean, yes, that would be a
It's
great
the fact that you lose her
acquisition.
to the rival company.
Right, that would be a great acquisition, but I don't think. I really don't think AEW has a shot to sign Becky Lynch.
No, not at all. She
Unless
WWE.
unless Becky Lynch somewhat feels disrespected by depending on the contract she's offered from WWE, if she feels disrespected in some sort of way, then you can start, answering those questions or but I think it's just taking her hiatus, and we'll see her either maybe at the end of the year or the beginning of next year.
Right.
But continuing on the trend of WWE contract updates, we have a couple who are soon to be free agents. We have Ricochet, Chad Gable, Natalia, and Dijak. We'll
So
start. Yeah,
I've been on record that Ricochet is the most underutilized, underappreciated wrestler on the roster.
that's right.
That being said, WWE is not dumb enough to let him walk, so he's resigning.
Mm-hmm.
Chad Gable's had a resurgence of his career. He's staying. Dijak just came up. He's staying. And I think Natalia's gonna be the one to go. Only thing I think like she's done everything. Now she's in NXT doing enhancement work. What more is there left for Natalia to do?
Yeah. Out of all these, the only person that I could probably see leaving is maybe Natalia. But then again, I do see a situation where WWE re-signs all of them. Natalia's contract is up pretty soon. She's been offered a WWE deal but has not signed. Right. Chad Gable, according to Fightful reports, his contract is set to expire next week. So this upcoming week. And then Ricochet's contract and Dijak's contract are supposed to be expired this summer.
Right.
Now, I I wouldn't if I'm WWE. Obviously, I wouldn't let none of these guys go. I'll start with Dijak first. Dijak, I think, what was drafted to Raw hasn't. I think they're just waiting until that contract situation plays out, and then he might make his Raw debut. When it comes to Dijak, the, speaking of underutilized, underrated wrestlers, he's one of them. Always puts banger matches in PLEs and whatnot. Natalia, I know why people are sometimes like tired of Natalia, but Natalia she's OG and she's a solid worker. So I don't see anything happening with that. Um, Chad Gable.
A resurgence of a career.
Right. I don't see Chad Gable going anywhere.
No.
I mean, yeah, especially with this kind of like, feud that he's been having with Sami Zayn, right? And then you're kind of like teasing him, pairing him with the Creed brothers, right? And maybe Ivy now. Um, he's due for a big run, so I don't see him leaving.
SummerSlam
And then there's
will be the time where it's like he's gonna take off.
right, and then there's Ricochet, right? Ricochet. I think we've gone multiple times raving how incredible Ricochet is, how Ricochet is one of our favorites, right? Um, and you're right. I think at times it's he's being super underutilized. And the fact that AEW's Will Ospreay, right, has already like teased of trying to recruit Ricochet, that may present a problem for WWE because Ricochet leaving WWE allows him to use his entire move or skill set, right? There's no limitations, right?
I'm a
And that's
peacock,
what,
Captain. You gotta let me fly.
yeah, and that's what Will Ospreay has been very vocal about recently, right? In regards to Ricochet, and the way they've been booking Ricochet. Now, that's why there's a chance he might leave, right? But then again, his soon-to-be wife Samantha is in WWE. I don't think he would want to leave her, right? Um, so and I don't know. Triple H has a lot of trust in Ricochet, and right now he's in a pretty incredible. I mean, what I seem to be a incredible feud with Braun Breaker and Dragunov. So I don't know. The chances of Ricochet leaving,
10%.
I'm gonna say no. I think it's greater than that. It's in the 30-40 range.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I'm gonna say 30-40 range. The percentage of Chad Gable leaving, I'm gonna say 10, maybe. Natalia, I'm gonna say a 50% because she might explore her options out, in other promotions, right? Trying to see if she could be better utilized. And then Dijak is also up there.
I say 0.
Dijak is also up there. I'm gonna give it a 25. So, um, we mentioned shocking, and it's been a shocking week. I think this is the theme of this episode. Let's go with Roxanne's mystery opponent being TNA Knockouts champion Jordynne Grace.
You know what's crazy? After her comments made years ago, where she got casted out into the world,
yeah,
and now she's back on live. Now she's back on we'll call it national TV. Shout out to Jordynne Grace.
Yeah,
her rock bottom, her climb to relevancy has been crazy. So the fact that she's where she's at now, from where she was like 2-3 years ago, it's a great story to see.
Yeah,
the world forgave her.
This definitely comes as a shock because it's like, all right, we knew when WWE was doing the partnership with TNA, Scott D'Amore was one of the guys who WWE would communicate in order for this partnership to exist, right? But I think given the history, right, and all the I'd say I would say partnership, right? It's been good terms, right? I think both companies have gotten what they've invested in, right? And I think slightly more WWE because there's been more appearances from TNA wrestlers than WWE wrestlers. However, I'll speak more about that in a second. But the fact that nobody ever expected Jordynne Grace to answer that challenge, right? And what made it even better, her bringing in the TNA Knockouts Championship, right? It was a good feel moment, right? It was a good feel moment because it's like now this forbidden door that everybody wants to talk about, right, between WWE and TNA, it's actually happening.
It's here now. It's official.
Yeah, it's 100% official, and you have two rising female wrestlers in the game, in Jordynne Grace, in Roxanne Perez. They're absolutely going to kill it in NXT Battleground.
Yeah, it's going to be great. And then you're going to see the result of everybody's hard work efforts backstage trying to get together. And these two very well credited in what they do, especially in the respective field. Roxanne Perez being champ, then you got Jordynne Grace being champ in her company. So it's like, okay,
yeah, no,
let's set it off.
Yeah, no, this is a win-win, and I'll explain why in just a couple of minutes. Just having the TNA Knockouts champion from another company, challenge your very own NXT champion, it's just going to boost ratings, right? And this is a marquee match of champion versus champion, right? And not only that, like the fact that nobody ever thought that WWE would work with another company, right? Because WWE has been so firm on themselves, or either creating their own superstars, or paying high-end money for free agents, right? But now the fact that you're establishing a relationship with another very known company, it's huge.
And willing to grow. And that's saying a lot come from a company that's already as big as it is, and they're the biggest wrestling company in the world, right? Is willing to grow a little bit more by doing this. So that takes a lot. That takes a lot of credit, takes a lot of understanding, a lot of respect for other companies. Now, before Vince, let's call it how it is. Vince would have never have done this. Triple H understands it. Triple H gets it. And now, not to mention, you have this collaboration going on, this partnership. If people don't want to be in TNA and want to go to a big company, they'll go to WWE. If those who want to go to a lighter work schedule and don't want to be involved in it anymore, they can go right to TNA. Yeah, we've seen it happen several times in the past with different wrestlers who want to go part-time work, who want to go into a bigger stage, and it was mutual. But at least AEW has an issue with New Japan and TNA with when they did it, right? So,
I've gone on record to say that AEW has been really
poor.
No, selfish, right? Because when they did the partnership with New Japan, AEW knew exactly what they were doing, right? In trying to poach superstars to to AEW, right? And that's what they did. And then when they did this whole partnership with, let's say, with TNA, they would make sure that their own were champion, right?
Right.
The only trade-off was, all right, Kenny Omega made, several appearances in Impact, but the one who got
retired is the belt at on TNA too.
Yeah, AEW got the best out of that deal. Now, in terms of this WWE and TNA collaboration, we've seen WWE get the best out of TNA, right? Because we've seen Jordynne Grace make an appearance this year at the Rumble. We've seen Mickie James make an appearance
last year.
I think 2 years ago. 2 years ago, right? 2 years ago.
And that was like she wanted to retire herself in WWE.
Right. And then
walk away from it.
Now, but I think now this is where TNA will kind of get rewarded, because TNA has an event against all odds on June 14th. Now, I think the rumor, or I don't know if it's a rumor or if it's actually happening, but Jordynne Grace will have an open challenge for the title that day. That's where a lot of reports are saying that there is going to be several NXT involvement in that pay-per-view.
That's a great idea too.
So I can see Roxanne Perez answering that Jordynne Grace open challenge. I can see a person like Natalya answer that open challenge, right? And it's not gonna be the main roster. I think it's gonna be NXT for now. I think they're just testing waters.
You gotta feel it out.
Yeah, they're testing waters. But yeah, I believe I believe this is going to be a great opportunity for both, right?
Right.
Because if everything goes well, you can send AJ Styles for an appearance to TNA. I mean, AJ Styles has done I think it was video footage for anniversary for TNA, right?
Mm-hmm.
But just to make an appearance after all these years, that would be huge, right? But I think the focus is now NXT, right? I think you know, we can have MSK reunited, right? Um, I think the possibilities are endless. Joe Hendry, a crowd favorite, all of a sudden, now
Showing up out of nowhere.
right? If he can make an appearance at WWE, I think that would be amazing, right? But I think one interesting thing that we can discuss is that Survivor Series, either Raw versus SmackDown supremacy, or you had one year where it's Raw versus SmackDown versus NXT, right?
Mm-hmm.
What if it's WWE versus TNA?
That'd be great. You have a couple of great TNA talents like Moose, amongst others, who you can go ahead and put them up with the best of the best in WWE. And I go a lot. Moose might have a couple of W's in his back pocket.
Look, you could have Moose, right? Eddie Edwards. And it's funny, you can have the X Division champion Mustafa Ali representing TNA against somebody from
Imagine him coming back and get a win. Like, yo, listen, we didn't use you that well. Thank you for your efforts in WWE. Take a win.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the possibilities are endless. So,
Isn't Matt Cardona on TNA too?
No, he's like a free agent. He's just independent, right? So he's just whenever he gets an opportunity to make an appearance, he does. So,
I think there was another one that was
Dolph Ziggler, aka Nick Nemeth.
That's another one.
He could represent TNA.
There's somebody else. I forgot who it is. Oh man, what's Evan Bourne's name now?
He's in AEW.
AEW, is he?
Yeah.
I thought he was talking that one time with that bot show like a year and a half ago. We haven't seen him since.
Yeah, no, but I mean that's the thing. Like TNA is crowded with a lot of talented wrestlers, and if if you're able to execute an event of TNA and WWE, that's gonna help both companies out.
I got one for you. Ready? Now I'm gonna throw this one out of nowhere. What happens as we get to SmackDown and whatnot, and Solo beats the fuck out of Paul Heyman, and Heyman gets kicked off TV for a couple months. He shows up with the whole TNA squad with his Paulie Dangerous hat. Fucking takeover.
Yeah, that would be dope. But with Paul Heyman, he's gonna be the wise man for years to come. I think for years to come.
This is his easiest job yet. The role he has now is like, it's the most fun he's probably had in a long time.
Yeah. Continuing again, shocking theme, shocking episode. Ethan Page making his NXT debut.
How you feel about this?
Oh, I loved it. I've been a big fan of Ethan Page. I started noticing more of his work during Impact Wrestling, right? But when he was a free agent the first time, right? And I thought, all right, NXT should really pick up Ethan Page. I think he would be a great fit there. But he ended up going to, at the time, the Rising Company, which was AEW.
Right.
However, AEW didn't do anything with him.
No.
AEW
5, 6
listen, I'm not even going to go into that, but AEW did absolutely nothing with and for Ethan Page.
Mhm.
So the fact that he was recently let go, right? Or I don't know if it was a mutual thing or he was let go.
We'll call it just a a separation.
Yeah. And then the fact that throughout the show Noam Dar was attacked, right, and then Oral was attacked, and then obviously people like, all right, what's going on, was it really Trick Williams or whatnot, but then Ethan Page makes again a surprise appearance attacking Trick Williams, making his intentions known that he's after the NXT title. I think this was a perfect scenario. Ethan Page in NXT. Now, Ethan Page said in social media that he's not signed. I think that's just all work. But
Yeah, he's signed.
yeah,
He's there.
yeah. The plan is right now is for Ethan Page to challenge Trick Williams for the NXT Championship at Battleground. Um, Now again, this is how you kind of like unlock people's potential. Ethan Page had tremendous potential that Tony Khan did not know how to unlock. And I think just of one night of one appearance, HBK and NXT or WWE has unlocked that.
Right. And now you're seeing with, by the way, I don't know if you really, can we talk about Sexy Red showing up to NXT? What?
That was
I know for a fact you were sitting in the room watching NXT or heard get it sexy, get it sexy. It was fun. That was an unexpected thing I realized. I'm like, yo, and then she shows up, I'll be the host of that. I was like, okay.
yeah, that was like
Shawn Michaels? What?
that was like the most random collaboration.
Listen,
I thought it was a joke.
Shawn
I
Michaels,
legit thought it was a joke. But to be honest with you, it wasn't like as bad as one thought it would be. It was actually
Shawn
pretty.
Michaels was loving it.
It was entertaining. It was not bad.
Yeah.
It was not bad. But yeah, all ego. Yeah, it's crazy because there was one last year when I went to Comic-Con, Ethan Page was there, and I think he like left his booth, and then he just happened to be right in front of me. But I wanted to ask for like either a picture and autograph right there, right? But I didn't want to like bother, because like you don't want to bother somebody, if
but it's something to ask a question like, hey man, how you doing? I don't want to be rude, but we're being rude.
Yeah. So, but no, I'm happy for Ethan Page. Great accusation for WWE NXT, and I think I think he's going to be a major player for NXT for some time.
I agree.
Let's go on to the land of All Elite. They themselves had a pretty solid episode, but there's a couple things to take out from that episode. Let's go with Hook and Samoa Joe possible alliance.
I have no problem with this. I have no problem with seeing Samoa Joe after the situation with Jericho, the learning tree, and everything going on. Seeing Samoa Joe, who is an exact duplicate wrestler of his dad, of Hook's dad, Taz, right? They're the same wrestler, same style, same brute force, same skill set. I think Samoa's better, but having someone teach him and having him guide him along as a mentor along the way is a great idea.
Yeah, no, I think having Hook and Samoa Joe pairing together, like there's potential there.
Yeah,
And
a
that's
lot of work for it.
and that right there, that short interaction between Hook and Samoa Joe was the best part of the segment because that whole learning tree segment absolutely sucked. And I'm using that word respectfully because there's other words you can use, but
It was terrible.
I'm not really buying into this whole learning tree thing. I think it's I don't know. It's just me. It's not working.
It was terrible.
I don't think it's working.
See how it is. It was terrible.
I mean, it's clear as day that Jericho is, I guess, forming another faction now that he's, he first recruited Big Bill, and now he's recruited the bounty hunter Brian Keith. So yeah, I don't know what the whole learning tree is about. We'll see in the upcoming weeks to see where that faction leads to, but the whole tease of Hook and Samoa Joe, pairing together, has me excited. So who knows? Who knows if there's going to be, if that's a tag team, if they're going to be an actual tag team, or is Samoa Joe going to mentor Hook? So we'll see where that goes.
Yeah, there's a lot of good things for it. It's just a matter of what will come of it.
Yeah. Then we have Trent Beretta finally joining the Don Callis family, which I guess took a lot of people by surprise because after his loss against Orange Cassidy, right? It looked like he was probably going to go on a hiatus. He didn't want anything to do with anything, and he said, "I'm done." But surely enough, he attacked Orange Cassidy and then gave a best friend hug to Don Callis. And him joining the Don Callis family, I think is a good fit. I just hope he's been, I hope he's actually utilized. For the past couple of weeks, we've seen Don Callis try to recruit Orange Cassidy, but it's Trent Beretta who actually takes Don Callis's offer and joins the family.
So there is no retirement for Trent Beretta. See, what do you think now? Do you think that you're gonna have a newly a refreshed Trent Beretta going against?
Yeah, I hope this leads to like a single push, right? Especially now with Don Callis at his side. But if you really take a good look at who's in the Don Callis family, right? Kesha had a run, but then it's kind of like dropped. Who else? Kyle Fletcher, he's had some matches, but again, hasn't really gone anywhere. Will Ospreay technically is still in Don Callis family, and he's the one with the push. And who else? Hobbs.
Where's Hobbs been?
That's been super inconsistent. So I don't know. I feel like Don Callis is a great heel manager. It's just that, the individuals in this family, it's been super inconsistent, right? It's been all right. They get hyped and then they get dropped, and then it's all hype and then dropped again.
Yeah.
So listen, I hope for the best for Trent Beretta, but history has shown that it's not looking too good. But again, he needs a new direction. So maybe this
is it right here.
Yeah, maybe this is it for him. So for those who did not see Edge's social media,
we spoke on it. And
yeah, we spoke on it as soon as it happened. So for those who don't know, Edge fractured his tibia and would require surgery, and that's going to be several months out of action. So a new TNT champion will be crowned at Forbidden Door. The injury happened when Edge took the dive from the from the cage on to Malachi Black, where he landed on his feet. And as soon as that happened, I turned to B and I'm like, did he break his legs?
And I seen. I was like, I don't think he was supposed to. It wasn't supposed to land on his feet. It was supposed to land flat. I didn't think that was supposed to be the situation. And you were like, did he break his legs? I was like, I have
no. The fact that the way he landed, I was like, he broke his legs. But then the fact that he was still able to finish that match was incredible.
A top tier work for one. So you can never ever say that Edge was ever a bad worker because Edge worked through a broken leg. What's that what's that old video? Greg Jennings put the
Uh,
team on my back. That
the
was Edge.
Madden,
Yeah.
but yeah. So on Dynamite, the Young Bucks, the EVPs, they wanted to, well, they announced that Adam Copeland was stripped from the TNT Championship, and as EVPs, they automatically wanted to appoint Jack Perry as the new champion. However, Christopher Daniels, who has had multiple run-ins as of late with Matt Jackson,
Who might
announced,
just be the new general manager.
yeah, so he was appointed the new EVP by Tony Khan. So any decision made by Tony Khan, he will announce. If you want to be technical, yes, he is a general manager right now. And he comes out and states that the new TNT champion again will be crowned at Forbidden Door in a ladders match. So there's going to be a series of qualifying matches in the next upcoming weeks to announce the contestants, and yeah, a new champion will be crowned. I'm excited because I'll give them that. AEW's ladder matches, they always hit.
Yeah.
So
those are always bangers.
but yeah, you gotta what's it called? You would have to, I guess, predict that the heavily favorite is Jack Perry.
Due to who
I mean,
he deals with.
I mean, listen, the elite, they have the tag champs in the Young Bucks.
Yeah, it's just like, all right, well.
Yeah, the elite are definitely getting involved. So Jack Perry, it's only a matter of time until Jack Perry becomes the NT champion.
Right.
Then we have the main event on AEW match to earn a shot at to earn a championship match against Swerve Strickland.
Does Will Ospreay beat Swerve Strickland? That's all that we have to talk about in regards to this. International champion. Does he get both international and AEW World Heavyweight Championship? That's all you gotta say about this. Does he get both?
Okay. This one's all right. This one's hard to predict because I think if there's interference, right? If there's somewhat interference, I think Swerve Strickland wins, right? I feel like somebody might attack Will Ospreay or cause a distraction. If nobody gets involved and it's a one-on-one match, I think Will Ospreay beats Swerve Strickland, which is unfortunate because I feel like as great as this match looks on paper, and I have no doubt it's going to be a banger, I think it's just too soon. I think it's too soon. And if the decision is made to have Will Ospreay beat Strickland, that's unfortunate because I think they just did Strickland dirty.
Yeah.
I think I mentioned it last week. I'm not sure, but I think Strickland's title run so far has been underwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was really happy that he won it, but ever since then he hasn't really done much. I mean, yeah, he beat Christian Cage to retain, but it hasn't been an exciting run, right? Or a meaningful run. But if he beats Will Ospreay, obviously that just raises the value of his run. But the way they've been booking Will Ospreay, Will Ospreay they've made Will Ospreay look unbeatable, untouchable, and that he's going to go on this godlike run like Roman Reigns is.
We'll see. We shall see.
Quickly he made his debut, goes on a hot streak already. Is international champion, And what they're making him look to be the next AEW World Champion? Like, what is he going to
Line
do?
the
Collect
line
every single belt in AEW?
are amazing.
I don't know. Again, like I
Shocking.
I have my doubts because I have my doubts with the way they're booking Strickland. I have no doubts on the match. I just have doubts on Strickland, retaining that championship, which I kind of want to see a longer run, but I don't know. That's just my opinion.
We shall see.
And then we have some quick notes from yesterday's episode of Friday Night SmackDown. Paul Heyman, your guy, questioning Solo Sikoa's strategy.
And that's why I spoke on the whole, well, what if Paul gets casted aside? Da 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 da. I don't know. Because now there's no Rock, there's no Roman. Solo's now gotten to this point in time where he's now the face of the bloodline, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bloodline 1, bloodline 2, it does not matter. Bloodline's bloodline. So it's like Paul's role has went from being second in command to what felt like third in command to what felt like now he's just there to be there.
Yeah.
So Paul's going to go and question Solo's strategy and how he wants to go about his business, which I have no problem with Solo's strategy. In my opinion, he's trying to make a name for himself. So that's what he will do, and that's a smart thing to do. But you're not Paul's bothered because you're not asking Paul what to do. That's what Roman did. Rock took inquiries on what Paul told Roman, who told him. And now it's like, well, what am I here for? I'm the wise man. Well, for what reason? So now I guarantee you next week, Soul's probably gonna beat Paul's ass. Look at me. I'm the captain now.
Yeah, it's only a matter of time till Paul gets back.
So it is what it is, man. It's just they do my man Paul criminal, but I love to see it. Think about it. RVD, Big Show, Brock Lesnar, CM Punk, Kevin Owens. Who is the
Kevin Owens?
Kevin Owens has involvement.
In what?
Remember Owens try to mess with Heyman a while back, and something that always happens to whenever anybody tries to mess with Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
It's like all whether it's whether it's Paul's guy, if you're a Heyman guy or not, if you mess with Paul Heyman, something bad always happens to Paul, and then at the end, that bad thing happens to you. 2014, the real winner of the 2014 Royal Rumble, Curtis Axel. Everybody messes with don't do that. He's still available for that match to this very day. Curtis Axel, he's still there. He's still somewhere waiting to go.
I just think this is like unfamiliar territory for Paul Heyman, who Paul Heyman is used to being included in every single plan that the Bloodline did, right? But now
he's not being utilized.
Yeah, now with Solo taking reigns, Paul Heyman is kept in the dark. So the fact that Solo says we got Cody Rhodes in check and he doesn't even know it, and then Paul Heyman says, "Who's we?" So we've seen that, or we can speculate that Solo has been lying to Paul Heyman, saying that, oh yeah, Roman, I've talked to Roman every single day, and oh yeah, this comes from the tribal chief. But we know damn well Roman Reigns is not the one calling the shots.
The one for now on is Solo. So Paul Heyman has like he always does when he gets.
Solo is in the Rock. No.
It's not the Rock.
You don't think the Rock is calling the shots?
No.
From afar?
Rock is gone. Rock is somewhere with TKO sipping Mai Tais and doing his thing.
I feel like the Rock's calling the shots.
I think it's Solo altogether.
We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, they kind of burning parentheses for Roman Reigns' return. So We'll see what happens.
Right.
Then LA Knight wanting the WWE US Championship. Yeah.
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 And he's gonna win the belt.
He's gonna win the belt.
It's
Yeah,
just
he's gonna win the belt.
you've been hot for so long, and you've never gotten a fair shot. When you got a fair shot, you lost it. So now he's got a chance again. I think now is the time where they're gonna actually finally give him a run with something.
Yeah.
So and this is not Logan Paul. Logan Paul has been a great U.S. champion.
He's been great.
It's just time for him to now pass it over, get Logan involved with the Money in the Bank, and get Logan. Logan Paul will be involved in the main event scene for the next 6 to 7 months.
Yeah, so
up until Rumble season, he'll be involved with the main event scene.
That's going to be a pretty nice mic battle between LA Knight and Logan Paul, right?
Yeah.
And also a solid match. Assuming it's assuming it's SummerSlam, right? LA Knight versus Logan Paul for the United States Championship. So I'm looking forward to that. And then I think this is where LA Knight has his moment. He captures gold. He wins the WWE US Championship.
And well deserved too.
Yeah. And the final topic of the episode, hope you guys have been tuning in and enjoying the episode, is AJ Styles pulling a Mark Henry.
See, this time I didn't cry because I got genuinely upset when Mark Henry retired.
Yeah.
And then beat the fuck out of John Cena.
that was more believable. But I got to give credit for AJ for throwing again, taking a page out of Mark Henry's book and showing like emotions, right, on the verge of tears, right, and kind of like a lot of people were like 50-50 about it. Is he really retiring or is he pulling a Mark Henry? Saying lines like, maybe I stay home and be a phenomenal father, right?
Mama, baby, I'm coming home.
Yeah, I'm coming home. And then he had the Good Brothers with him, so
that's why I knew something was up because Mark came up by himself.
What seemed like an emotional moment, right? But then as soon as he calls out Cody Rhodes and Cody Rhodes falls for the trap and actually comes out, I'm like, all right, this is fake. All right. I mean, I knew it was fake, but him coming out just like confirmed it. I was like,
yeah, because John didn't come out John came out by himself. He didn't get called out.
Yeah.
He just walked down, oh, you're some more, I got enough left in the tank. And then here comes AJ Styles.
I think, at that time, Cena came out on his own. But at this one, he called out Cody Rhodes. He called out Cody Rhodes.
Real suspect.
Yeah. Called out Cody Rhodes, said, this is still the house that AJ Styles built. And I called you out here to hand you the keys. What a great line, by the way.
That was a great line.
But now, obviously, the moment happened. He clotheslines Cody Rhodes, beats him down for a couple minutes, and let me tell you, I did enjoy the Styles clash off the steps. That was
fun,
perfectly executed. So, that's one way from being at the back of the line to the top of the line and getting a championship shot.
And I will say this now: this match is going to be fantastic.
Oh yeah, I mean their match at Backlash was great. I think this has the potential to be even better.
Yeah,
maybe there's a whole stipulation. Who knows?
It could be.
Maybe and then with the Good Brothers, possibly the fact that the Good Brothers are somewhat involved now in this like feud makes you think, is Cody Rhodes' championship reign in jeopardy? I don't think so, but I love the way that WWE makes you believe that it is.
Yeah. So if you're the Good Brothers with AJ Styles, who's going to roll with Cody? Is it Uso? Main Event Jay's going to pop up?
No, because Main Event Jay's on Raw.
Yeah, he don't care. He'll pop up anywhere he wants to be.
That's a good question. I would have to look at the tag teams. Well, I mean, that's the thing. The OC are on NXT. I mean, do you Do you bring in the NXT Tag Team Champions? You know, Frazier and Axiom.
So are you creating now a new feud in NXT?
Yeah, I mean, WWE has been doing that for a while. I mean, for them to call up the Good Brothers, and then the Good Brothers already has shown intentions of wanting the NXT Tag Team Champions.
So you just kick off that feud right then and there.
I would have Axiom and Nathan Frazier, you know, come up for like a week or two and back up Cody.
Then this, that, and third. No, then no. Say the following week, Cody calls out Styles being a bomb. Here comes Axiom coming out all of a sudden. Da, 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 da. You guys are a bunch of pros trying to jump and trying to ruin a feud. How about you run with us in NXT at Battlegrounds? Blah blah
Yeah.
blah blah blah.
Or you can have DIY.
Same thing.
And the reason why I say DIY is because now with the problems brewing between Austin Theory and Waller, their championship reign is definitely in jeopardy.
Okay, yeah. Now you
definitely
pass them aside.
I see DIY capturing the titles off them, and then obviously with the rumors of Theory, turning face, right, and possibly feuding with Waller, that could be Cody's backup too, because
Yeah, no, that works.
Makes sense.
Yeah, that works. That works very well. We'll see. That's a pretty good possibility.
Yeah.
So, but that'll do it for us on today's episode of the Sunset Flip Wrestling Podcast. We appreciate you guys tuning in week in, week out, live on Twitter, live on Twitch, live on YouTube. Anywhere you want it, we got it for you. Supply and demand, baby. So if you want to check us out, you can check us out on all our stream platforms. Linktree is downstairs, as you can see, and downstairs right over there. And then you want to hear the audios, you can check us out when they get uploaded. They'll be on Apple, Spotify, Google Podcasts, so on and so forth. Wherever you get your audios from, we'll have them there for you. If you want to see the visual, you can't watch it live now. You get the recap on Twitch. Will have them up for a couple days. Get them on YouTube. You want to see some clips live on Instagram. You want to get your up to dates on your weekly information, your weekly wrestling information. You can check out our Instagram. You can check out our Twitter, which is daily. You can check out our Facebook, which has questions and questions and debates. If you guys want to engage in conversation and have forums to talk about things, our Facebook is there as well. We're access everywhere you go. We have a fucking email if you want to email us. Carrier pigeon. If you want a carrier pigeon, doesn't matter. You want it, we got it. So that'll do it for us today. Soto, I'm off to the Mets game, and I will see you next week, my boy.
All right, later.
Very good.